class 10. Welcome to the 7th session of e-learning classes, and in this class we are going to continue with our chapter, that is agriculture. Okay, so let us begin with intensive subsistence farming. So let us understand this. This type of farming is practiced in an area of high population pressure on land. Suppose there is a limited portion of land and the number of people depending on that land is more. So in that case, the land will not be able to support these many people. Okay, if the number of population is more, if the number of people are more, if the population is more and the land is limited, there will be pressure on the land that cannot hold that much for the people. Okay, so in this case, what the people do? The people give high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation to obtain the higher product from the field. Okay, to get the higher production, the people use the biochemicals that is in higher doses. Okay, and the irrigation. In this type of farming, the laborers are employed in an intensive manner. That means the more number of laborers are required to do this kind of farming. Okay, now there is a question for you. Can you name some of the states of India where such farming is practiced? That means intensive subsistence farming. We are supposed to name some of the states where intensive subsistence farming is done. Okay, now how this problem arises? That means the pressure on land. Okay, when the population grows more, okay, and the land becomes limited for that amount of population. Okay, so at that time the pressure increases on land, and what is the cause we are going to discuss now. Okay, though the right of inheritance leading to the divisions of land among successive generations has rendered the land holding size uneconomical, the farmers continues to take maximum output from the limited land in the absence of livelihood. Now from here you can understand that the land which was there, suppose there was a man called Ram, okay, and he has got 5 sons, okay, and he has got 1 acre of land. Now that 1 acre of land has to be divided among the 5 sons. Now why? Because they have got the right to inheritance. They have got the right to take the property of their father. The father has to divide the property among their son. Okay, so he is supposed to divide the land. Now the land has been divided into 5 parts, and each son will be looking after that land. He has to live on that land. Okay, since there is no other source of livelihood, so he has to depend upon that land. The sons, they will get married and they will have children. Okay, so in this way their population will also increase. Before there were parents and 5 children, that is the 5 sons. Now they have divided the land and each son is having wife and children, so there is a pressure on the land. Before they used to have enough food, now they has divided the land into different parts and they are depending on the same plot of land. The land cannot increase. Okay, it has just been divided into 5 parts and it is the limited, but the population is increasing, so the food supply of that land becomes limited. To increase that food supply, they are using the biochemicals, fertilizers and the irrigation technique to get more amount of yield from the field. Okay, so that was the reason behind this. Okay, that is why there is a pressure on the land. Thus there is an innermost pressure on agricultural land, as I said. Okay, there is an innermost pressure on this agricultural land, as we have understood with this example, that increase in population causes innermost pressure on the land. Okay, now let us understand another type of farming, that is the commercial farming. Okay, the main characteristics of this kind of farming is uses of higher doses of modern input. Now, when we talk about modern input, means it is related with modern technology and modern elements that is put into the soil. Okay, for getting the higher productivity. So let us understand what they do. Okay, in this kind of farming, they use high variety of seed, high yield variety of seed. Now high yield variety of seed means the seed which they plant will give more crops. Those kind of seed is called the high yield variety of seed. Okay, now another thing that they use is the chemical fertilizer. The fertilizer which they add, that will add nutrients to the soil and give more productivity. Okay, the next one is insecticides. Okay, they use chemicals, okay, that is the insecticides, to kill the insects so that the insect will not destroy the crop. Another one is pesticides. the small creature which live in the soil will also destroy or eat the crop. Okay, and to kill those pesticides they use the to kill those pests they use the pesticides. Okay, now these inputs they use in order to obtain the higher productivity from the field. Okay, now the degree of commercialization of agriculture varies from one region to another region. Now commercialization means the cropping or the agriculture done for commercial purpose, that means to earn the money. Okay, so it varies from one region to another region. For example, rice is the commercial crop of Haryana and Punjab, but in Odisha it is the subsistence farming. That means the rice which is grown as a commercial crop in Haryana and Punjab is a subsistence crop in the Odisha. Odisha did not use rice as a commercial crop, they use it as a subsistence crop. Okay, now let us understand about the plantation. Okay, now plantation is a kind of commercial farming where lots of economy is being used, that is the capital is being used, the machinery, the economics, the equipments, so many things are being used in this kind of farming. It is a type of farming in which single crop is grown on a large area. Okay, as I have already said that it is a kind of commercial farming, so in this case the single crop is grown on a large area. The plantation has interface of agriculture and industry. Okay, there is an interface, there is an interaction between the agriculture and the industry. They have got a correlation between each other. Whatever thing which is produced in this plantation, okay, that is used as a raw material in the industries. So industrialization has well developed in the area where plantation is being done. Okay, plantation covers a large tract of land using capital intensive inputs. Now capital intensive inputs means the capital here means the money and machineries. Okay, these are the things which is being used in this plantation. Okay, so it is called a capital intensive input farming also. Okay, with the help of migrant labor. Now migrant labor means the workers or the laborers which are employed in this plantation. Okay, they have to move from one place to another place again and again. As we have already understood that it covers over a large tract of land. That means a vast area is used for cropping a single crop. Okay, and that is why it is called a plantation. Okay, and now all the produce is used as raw material, as I said, with the respective industries. Now for example, a tea is grown in a large tract of land and it is used for tea producing companies. Okay, now companies means I am referring to the industries, okay, or the factories. Okay, the tea is being grown and the tea leaves are sent to the factory, they process it and they package it and then they will sell in the market. So there is a relation between the agriculture, that is the plantation, as well as the industry. In another case, there is also another example of plantation, that is the coffee. Coffee is also produced in the southern part of our country and the coffee industries are well developed in those regions. So you can understand that where there is a plantation, there is also a development of the industries which are related with the crop, that is the tea and coffee. I give you the example of tea and coffee. There are other plantations also done in various states of India. So let us understand about the plantation in our states. Okay, let us understand the plantations which are done in our country. Okay, in India, tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane, banana, etc. are important plantation crops. Okay, tea in Assam and North Bengal, coffee in Karnataka are some of the important plantation crops grown in the states. Now, when we talk about tea and coffee, as we know that it is a very important plantation crop. Okay, tea is mostly grown in the Assam. Okay, though it is grown in the northern side of our country also, that is the North Bengal also, but Assam is considered as the highest producer of tea in the country. Okay, that is why we consider it as a tea producing state. So the next is coffee. Okay, coffee in Karnataka are some of the important plantations. So coffee is mainly grown in Karnataka, which is the state of India. It is in the southern part of our country. Okay, this plantation is being done in the Karnataka. That is the coffee. Now the next is, since the production is mainly for market, a well-developed network of transportation and communication connecting the plantation area, processing industries and market plays an important role in developing of plantation. Now there is a system in which the processing industries as well as market plays an important role in this plantation. Thus, by doing plantation of the crop is not enough, it has to be circulated in the market, it has to be sold. Okay, so plantation work is done in a huge tract of land from where the raw material is been derived. Okay, and they'll get the raw material from the field, and that has to be brought in the processing place, the place where it has to be processed, that is the industrial sector, and later on it has to be sold in the market. Okay, so there should be a well developed network of transportation and communication, as I can show you on the board. Okay, suppose this is your field, okay, from where the raw material is being extracted, that is the growing area. Now another one is your processing, okay, the work where the processing work is done, and suppose this is your market. So this has to be linked with each other. Okay, raw material has to be brought from the field, okay, to the processing place. This is your field, okay, and this is your processing place. That means there is a factory, and after processing it has to be sold in some place, and that is the market. Okay, so in this way it works. There is a network between these three. That is why we call it as interface between the field and the industries. Okay, and lastly the processed product are sold in the market. So there is a network between these three sectors. Okay, so I hope you understood this. Now with this I would like to end the session here. Okay, and in the next session we'll be learning about the cropping pattern. Okay, you have revised this concept once again. Okay, as our examination are coming near, so whatever portion what we have discussed in the class from the previous chapter and from this chapter, so that it will be easy for you all to do the examination. Okay, now I would like to take a leave from the session. Okay, you all enjoy the days, study well, okay, practice hard, and take care of yourself. Thank you.